Something's off with Alex DeWitt. Hello, everybody. I just saw The Odyssey. I'm fresh out of The Odyssey, or I saw it yesterday. No spoilers, by the way. I hate that. Just saw The Odyssey. Very problematic film. Very problematic movie of the year, I would say. There's usually one a year that gets everybody in an uproar, and The Odyssey is the 2026 pick, I believe. If the internet is any indicator, boy, people do not love it. People very upset about certain inaccuracies, quote unquote, with the movie, particularly the casting of certain actors in certain roles. The casting, big no-no for a lot of people. Big no-no. Really upset over the casting choices. I am, of course, speaking primarily about the casting of Matt Damon. Matt Damon, not a good guy. From what I've read, from what we've all read, we've all heard the story. We're all on the same page. Everybody's on the same page with everything. Matt Damon, who a couple years ago in an interview, admitted that it took his Gen Z daughter to convince him not to use homophobic slurs anymore. Apparently, Matt Damon's just letting him fly. He's in a Dunkin' Donuts, just letting it go. He's saying all the homophobic slurs. He's saying them all, even though he was born and raised in Boston, and that's just the language of his species. But he's saying it again. You know, people in Boston, they'll just call someone a fucking queer at a baptism. Oh, that baby's crying because he don't like water. He's a fucking queer. That's what they do. Matt Damon, not a good man. Not a good man. I don't know. That Goodwill Hunting, not good. Not good. Questionable associations all across the board. All the Boston boys, Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck's got shit. Mark Wahlberg, especially problematic. They were in The Departed together. All of his friends, not good guys that he's palling around with. Mark Wahlberg, we all know the stories. He's done terrible things, done a lot of damage to the African American community. Upset a lot of black people. He's done a lot of things to African Americans that are just irredeemable. For instance, when he was a teenager, he was a white rapper. He was just going around appropriating black culture for years, and I will not stand for that. As a former white rapper, I understand our sins. But Mark Wahlberg, he was in underwear commercials. He was in black and white underwear commercials with his shirt off, hat backwards, just the ball. He was. I wish I remembered the song. Actually, I'm thankful I don't. But it was not good. Not good. Mark Wahlberg done a lot of things to African American, done a lot of things to the Asian community that are just reprehensible. We've all heard the stories. We've all heard the famous Rush Hour story. In 1998, when Rush Hour came out, Mark Wahlberg, he enjoyed the movie so much, he left the theater elated. He was jumping around. He decided to walk up to a group of people who were lined up to see the movie after him. And he walked up and he started doing quotes from the movie in a Mark Wahlberg, Jackie Chan sort of mesh, right? He was walking up to them going, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? He was doing it Mark Wahlberg, but as Jackie Chan. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? He kept doing that. And he went down the line just harassing people. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? He just kept doing it. They had to phone the police. The police arrested him. I think he did an overnighter for harassing people. And it's unacceptable. And he never really apologized. He's never really he's never shown any personal growth past that. And we've just allowed him to flourish in Hollywood. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Just disrespecting a legend like Jackie Chan. There is no place for that in my society. That was not good. That's an incident that's followed him around. If you go into Wikipedia, there is a whole section that says Mark Wahlberg Rush Hour incident. And it's 6 or 7 paragraphs detailing the whole affair. Eyewitness testimony, police interviews. It was not looking good for Mark Wahlberg in 1998, but he was able to do Boogie Nights and then Planet of the Apes, and he was Perfect Storm and Three Kings, and he was just he was able to have this long, prosperous $100 million career in Tinseltown, and I will not stand for it. But these are the types of people that Matt Damon knows. These are the people that Matt Damon associates with. Mark Wahlberg, the man who said a decade ago that if he had been on one of the 9/11 planes, that wouldn't have happened. That shit wouldn't have happened. I don't know what he's implying there. If he would have stopped the hijackers before they took the cockpit, if he would have stormed the cockpit when they already had it, if he would have tackled one of the hijackers, that would be interesting. Mark Wahlberg tackling a hijacker. I imagine that before he tackles the hijacker, he envisions them as a middle-aged Vietnamese man. That is, of course, a reference to the actual crime Mark Wahlberg apparently committed in his teens that has indeed actually followed him around. But okay, Mark Wahlberg, yes, great actor, checkered past, Chinese checkered past, if you will. No, Mark Wahlberg, great actor, checkered past, whatever. It's done. He's I don't know. Great actor, yes. I of course kid. And Matt Damon, also great actor. I'm making funnies, guys. I'm fucking around. The Odyssey, I saw it on Friday. Now that I'm working, I'm just going to morning movies. Now that I don't have a day job, and I'm just doing this content stuff and this brand stuff in the stand up. I'm walking around like a feral dog. You'll see me on a Friday morning. I'm just walking through a field of grass with a backpack. It's like I am Legend. It's fucking crazy, but this is what I'm doing now. I'm kind of bored during the day, and then I go out and do stand up at night, and I do my videos and I just live a life. I just trying to get shit going, trying to get relationships going and shit, you know. But I saw this movie in IMAX on Friday at around 11 in the morning, like right when the movie theater opened. I was there with a few other people. And I sat and I just saw a movie alone. Movies alone, just fucking. I can't get enough of just seeing movies by myself during the day. I loved this. I really liked it, or not loved. Loved is a strong word. The Odyssey, technical marvel, visually stunning movie. All of the Nolan staples. Great set pieces, action. The fucking score is out of this world. He no longer has Hans Zimmer as his composer. He's got this guy Ludwig Göransson. He did like Sinners and he did Oppenheimer, which we can get into a little bit. But yeah, really good movie. Is it his best movie? No. Is it flawed? Yes, it is. Some of the characters or whatever. I could care less about the fucking cat. Everybody's talking about the casting of this movie. I just enjoyed the movie. I just bought a ticket and all for the price of $127. Everybody, all for the good old price of $127. It is getting expensive at the movies. When I was a kid, it was like $15, $16. You could just go. That's just a far away time now. Like really the land that fucking time forgot. You could just go see three. We snuck into all of them, but you paid for a ticket and you saw like 3 movies in a day. You felt like bandits. Now I'm going alone. I'm buying fucking. I had a Swedish berry breakfast. I bought Swedish berries, like a good millennial should. And I chowed down and I watched this movie about a Greek myth, you know, that everybody's pissed off at. But it was fucking it was like $25 for a ticket. You can't get it. There's no discount unless if you bring like your newborn baby and you sacrifice that. I think that you get a free small popcorn for that. Just sacrifice your newborn. All the proceeds go towards Matt Damon so he can look 15 years younger than he actually is. He got in good shape. He says that he's doing the F45 P90X thing. I don't buy it. You're eating newborns like the fucking rest of you. How do you think Christian Bale looks so fit? He goes from fat to skinny. He just newborns. No, The Odyssey, very good movie. People in an uproar again over this fucking casting that they say is inaccurate. It's not accurate to the times. I mean, I could see if you were making an actual film about ancient Greece and you were actually in that time period and you needed historical, but this movie, like, who cares about historical accuracy? The movie has a cyclops. The movie has witches. The movie has sea serpents. The movie has big giant guys that fucking cut people down. Like, it's a movie about a Greek myth. Everybody's pissed off because Lupita Nyong'o is playing Helen of Troy. A black woman is playing Helen of Troy. There's a fucking cyclops in the movie. When you have a cyclops in your movie, that's it. By the time the cyclops shows off, everything's a go. Black Helen of Troy, Helen of Troy wasn't black enough. Helen of Troy should have been played by Tracy Morgan. I would have watched that. I would have watched 4 hours of Tracy Morgan as Helen of Troy, just a black Tracy Morgan Helen of Troy movie. I would have watched that full thing, and I would have loved every second of it. I would have watched Black Helen of Troy and Matt Damon having to deal with Black Helen of Troy, and he has his Boston accent the entire movie. Helen of Troy's a black guy? And the entire movie is just a buddy film where they learn to love each other and get along. I would have enjoyed that. That would have been a provocative film. But no, they took the easy route and they got Lupita Nyong'o, who is a wonderful actress, who is attractive. Everybody's going, Helen of Troy. She doesn't look like Helen of Troy. It's like, who gives a shit? There's 3-headed people in the movie. Again, I'm not doing spoilers. I'm not going to go into detail, but there's like fucking really amazing shit that you're focused on Helen of Troy. I would have loved Tracy Morgan as Helen of Troy. They came inside a horse. Those guys came inside a horse. They got that horse pregnant. Who got that horse pregnant? Who got that horse pregnant with Odysseus? I don't know. I don't really have a Tracy Morgan. I'm disrespecting a legend right now. But I would have dug that. I would have dug fracking Helen of Troy. Who is this guy thinking he's Helen of Troy? I would have dug that shit. But instead, no. He had to go the easy route and get Lupita. No, people are so angry about the fact, and it's not just the Helen of Troy casting. It was, of course, Elliot Page. Everybody's seen the memes. People are mad because it's like a trans man playing a Greek warrior. But again, like, we're in the cyclops. Like, why are we caring about accuracy to that degree? Nobody knows, and I get it. It is peculiar casting. It's the same thing with Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. That's like strange casting. Nobody really knows the motive behind why he's doing it. I think they have several answers. I think some people believe that he's trying to appeal to the standards of the Oscars. That doesn't really make sense. This movie is going to be nominated for Oscars either way. It's a Nolan film. It's a high concept, epic, whatever these things. These are all, it's going to be nominated for a bunch of stuff. I don't know why he would care about the Oscars. There are some people who also think that he's just trying to be provocative for provocative's sake. I lean more to that. But in that case, I don't think he's being provocative enough with Elliot Page. I don't think he's being provocative. By the way, Elliot Page and Lupita Nyong'o, they have like 8 minutes of screen time collectively out of a 3-hour movie. So everybody's just pissing and moaning about that. And I don't think that it really just you're wasting energy on just this bullshit. And I don't think it's that provocative, to be honest, to have a trans man playing a Greek warrior. If Christopher Nolan wanted to be provocative with Elliot Page, I feel his best course of action would have been to approach Elliot Page, just walks up to her, puts his arm over Elliot, come here, gives Elliot a noogie. Just two of the guys, okay? Two of the boys hanging out. And he just said, Elliot, I don't know why I'm making him from like the Bronx, but he just says, Elliot, I'm going to give you $20 million, okay, for 5 days, okay? 5 days, $20 million. You go from being Elliot Page back to being Ellen Page. For 5 days, $20 million. Okay, $30 million, all right? You go back to being Ellen Page for 5 days. We film you as Ellen Page in Greek warrior armor. You're Ellen Page as a male Greek warrior. Because if there's one thing that pisses people off more than a trans warrior, it's a woman warrior. Huh? And we have Ellen Page as not Elliot Page anymore, back to being Ellen Page, just for 5 days, $30 million, now 35. And she's slicing people and she's cutting people and she's stabbing them and every just doing wild shit as Ellen Page. That's provocative. That is provocative because now Elliot Page has gone back to being Ellen Page, and it's a controversy. It's a woman inside a trans man inside of a Greek warrior. It's a controversy inside of a controversy inside of a controversy. It's like Inception. I'm a genius. It's like Inception. God, I should be fucking writing these things. Hollywood, get me behind a laptop. I will fix the Hollywood problem. Fuck Curry Barker and all those other idiots. I will do a movie. I've had a movie cooking for years. I've always wanted to do a film about Bigfoot being chased by drug dealers. He finds a big briefcase of cocaine in the forest, and he's being the entire movie is him just being chased by Colombian drug dealers through the Pacific Northwest. I think it would be like No Country for Old Men meets Harry and the Hendersons. I've always said this. And people have ignored it. But no, I don't know why, what they're looking for with accuracy with the Greek myth movie with the Cyclops. Again, I keep going back to the Cyclops. It's a one-eyed giant monster, which, by the way, is done beautifully. Beautiful practical effects in the movie. There's very little to no CGI. To my knowledge, he did it all practical. He did tricks with the camera and forced perspective, and it's just an amazing thing, and everybody's focused on Elliot Page. Fuck, I think Elliot Page started these wildfires. I think Elliot Page is nuking Iran. How do you like that? Yeah? Just had to sip on my diarrhea there for a sec. No, what did they want with accuracy in this movie? Fuck, these guys online, it's not accurate. The body armor's not accurate. None of this is true to Greek. It's a movie about ancient Greece. You're lucky these guys aren't cornholing each other every second scene. That's what they did back then. You're lucky Matt Damon is not just running a train on every young soldier on that. That movie could have been Boat Trip too. Boat Trip, of course, I am referring to the Cuba Gooding Jr. comedy where him and Horatio Sands are two like straight young guys who go on a cruise ship trying to get laid, and it turns out that they're on a gay cruise, and they freak out. And the whole movie, they learn to become better people over the course of a 90-minute runtime. And by the end, they're still, it's that type of movie. Everybody in 2003, every man in a comedy became a better person just by understanding gay people more. It was always the gay surprise. Oh my God. And then they learned to be accepting. And you know what? It was a great time for cinema. Boat Trip is pure cinema. No, but the Odyssey could have been like, what more do you want? What more do you want with this shit? It's too expensive to go to the movie. I don't know, like if you're a young couple going to a movie, I don't know how that used to be the thing that you did. When you were in high school, you used to go to the movies. I remember going, me and my buddy, we would go with two girls to the movies. We would be like grade 11, and it would be like between the four of us, $15, $16 that we'd each pay. And you'd fucking enjoy yourself. You'd smoke cigarettes, and then you'd go in and see a movie. And that was always a great time. One of you would have a flask with fucking whiskey that nobody could handle. It was either that or you and your boys would go and you would sneak, again, like I said, you'd sneak into 3 movies and you would go and you'd love every second of it. You'd be finished at midnight. One of your parents would come out of a drunken, sleepy stupor to come pick you up. They'd be pissed. You'd have to do rock, paper, scissors over whose parents came. The immigrant kids were getting smacked on the way home. Like, you woke me up for, because you went to see Nacho Libre. But it was a wonderful time that I cherish those memories, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. I wouldn't trade them for a world. I yearn for a time where every movie was just frat boys drinking, partying, joking about cum, saying gay. That was my time period. I just want to. My heaven is just a Vince Vaughn movie from 2005. Just a Vince, but my heaven is just Wedding Crashers. And Will Ferrell's there, and Owen Wilson's there, and Luke Wilson's there for some reason, and Vince Vaughn, and Jack Black, and Paul Rudd, and all of those guys, and even Seth Rogen. I'm into all that shit. Just want to go back to that time where everything was just cum and condom jokes, and there'd be a weird gag where somebody would shoot themselves with a dart, and that the laughs ensue from that. It was just a better time for those films. Now we don't do them anymore. Now we just have people arguing over Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy. I don't know, man. You got to have things in your life. You got to have something else in your life other than the politics of a movie. Everybody's politicizing every last little thing. And I know I'm not trying to play both sides of the fence, but everybody goes for it. The people on one side are just like, Helen of Troy can't be a black woman. And then everybody else on the other side falls for the bait. And they're like, oh, they're triggered because Helen of Troy, they don't like Helen of Troy being trans, everybody just goes for it. Everybody just becomes overwhelmed by this. And it's not healthy for anybody. Can anybody just enjoy shit anymore without bringing their personal views in it? And that we used to have stuff like that. Now we don't. Now we just have everybody just clawing at each other just because, oh, yeah. Go outside, have a fudgesicle, go kayaking, pet a fucking dog that you don't know. Who cares if it has rabies? Live a little, have an adventure. You got to have something. You got to have a hobby that you enjoy. There are things that I'm concerned about in life. I think it's healthy to be skeptical of government, to question things, to question the things that you're told and the people around you and the institutions that we've grown up on. I think that's good. But there has to be a line. You have to have something outside to be able to reach and touch. And it just takes your brain out of that for a second. That's all. I'm trying to have more of that in my life. Because this current thing is not good. I have friends of mine who are just like, I'm not gonna watch The Odyssey. I'm not gonna give Christopher Nolan, that woke hack, my money. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna illegally download it. Okay, yes, you're gonna keep your integrity, and instead of just going to see a movie, you're going to commit a federal crime and leave your IP address out there just because of Helen of Troy, Helen of Detroit, or whatever the fuck everybody's saying. It's a lot now, guys. It's a lot to fucking deal with now. And again, I'm skeptical of things. There are plenty of things in my life that I'm questioning. But yeah, I have hobbies. I have things that I like to do. People used to have things that took them outside of just ideology, that distracted them from ideology, right? People had families, people had homes. They had foundation in their life, and because fewer people own homes and fewer people are married and fewer people have kids my age, they're searching elsewhere for purpose and meaning and all these things, which is why a lot of the time you have 38-year-olds that are still hanging out with their high school buddies in garages, and they're huffing paint, and they're smoking cigs, and they're reminiscing over a keg party they went to in 2007 where a guy's head got cracked open because he said the wrong thing to a guy's girlfriend. Remember that? Ha ha ha. And it's too much. You can't go into the second stage of your life with just that. It's not healthy, and it's not good. It's not good. You got to have a hobby. You got to have something. If you like woodworking, if you like sanding things, sanding anything, just go out and sand somebody's railings. Just do that. Who cares if it's trespassing and it's illegal? You just got to get your mind out of Elliot Page stabby stab. Like, stop. I know it's weird, Kat, but just go outside and do that. Like, I'll give you an example from my life. AI data centers horrify me. The fact that they're bulldozing forests and they're doing these things to create these AI data centers, I don't like that. But I also like to get my dick sucked. I like hot ladies touching my pee-pee. I like to go kayaking. I like to be near water. I like to just go out now and go for walks and smell nature and just enjoy myself. Those are cool. Those take me outside of Helen of Troy, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, The Odyssey, good movie. They could have focused a little more on the characters that were on the boat. You didn't have that in this movie. They were focused on other characters. And I didn't love those choices that they made to not give, you don't know really any of their names. And there are a couple of really crucial scenes where a few fucking weird, wild, wacky, sometimes violent things happen to some of these guys, and you don't really care because you don't even know them. You don't know the characters. There's a scene where one character jumps off of a boat and starts just swimming aimlessly in one direction. And you don't even know the guy's name. I'm like, oh, I wish I knew who that guy was so I could actually be invested in this person dying, going crazy and dying. And you don't have that. And it's kind of frustrating because this could have been like one of the great adventure films. Really, if you just knew more of the characters, it's really just Matt Damon they're focusing on throughout the Odyssey journey. And then he has his like lieutenant, this right-hand man guy, this who was in Inception, Hamish Patel, I think is his name, Hamish. And good actor, was fun. It's fun just seeing that guy. He's like an Indian guy, and he's like, we're Greeks from Ithaca. I remember that line. And it's funny to see that. And then they have like a Chinese Greek warrior. It's fun. It's fun to see these guys. Like, how are you not having fun just seeing people play dress up? How are you not having fun just seeing a Chinese Greek warrior? How are you not having fun seeing a black Greek warrior and all of these things? These guys are just, it feels like a porno almost. Can't you just enjoy it? Robert Pattinson, who I love, Good Time is one of my favorite movies. I don't buy him. This is another negative of the film. I don't buy him at almost 40 years of age now, playing like the mustache twirling, like bratty, like he's like realistically 29, the character, or like whatever. I don't buy him playing that anymore. By the way, the people who do watch this, there are probably a couple Greek history majors that are not happy with what I'm saying. I'm not a Greek history expert. This guy his character could be a 50-year-old man. I have no clue. He's playing like somebody in that ilk of people. I don't know. Who am I to say? I'm not the guy who's making $1 billion off of this movie. I'm not Christopher Nolan. Okay, Christopher Nolan's done a few of my favorite movies. The Dark Knight is like a defining movie, probably of my life. I saw it 4 times in theaters in 2008. That was a huge film. I remember seeing it the first time I saw it with a bunch of buddies. There was a guy with a laser pointer in the theater, and then a guy got up and I think probably smacked the kid in the head. Like it was a wild screening. He's done great movies. Dunkirk, I love. Interstellar, I think, is interesting. Inception, when it came out, I fucking love. Like this man is an auteur. Okay, he's a movie that creates things he has an idea and he builds it from the ground up and he turns it into this actual living, breathing thing. And I think that's cool. Even with the movies that I don't love as much, Oppenheimer, I think is kind of overrated. I think we were kind of tricked into believing that movie was a masterpiece. It's a little hard to understand and a little hard to track. You don't know kind of what's where. It's a little weird for your brain. It's hard for your brain to get around the fact that the future is black and white and the past is in color. It's usually vice versa. It's a little difficult for people to get, and that's a common complaint with that movie. It's kind of all over the place. I felt that the Robert Downey thing wasn't fleshed out enough. Their relationship, Oppenheimer and that guy, their relationship just wasn't. They're in 3 scenes at most together, but you see him. It's like he's got some conspiracy brewing, and he's you kind of say it's supposed to be like a big blowout moment at the end when it's revealed that he was the one who threw him under the bus. But you kind of know all along. There's like there's like scenes where it's like a close-up of just Robert Downey's face, and you see that he's contriving this, he's creating this plan to. I'm gonna overthrow Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a traitor to the country. I'm gonna throw Oppenheimer under the bus. I'm gonna throw Oppenheimer under the bus. Okay. Don't get me wrong, Robert Downey, wonderful, wonderful actor. Tropic Thunder should have won the Oscar for that. Okay, you want to talk about provocative? Robert Downey should have come as his character in Tropic Thunder. He should have made a fucking cameo in The Odyssey. I would have loved that. I would have seen it a second time that day. Something's Up podcast. I'm going to end it here. This was fun, actually. We just talked about the movie. I'm trying to do this every week. I love doing the visual stuff now. You're going to be seeing more of this pretty mug. I apologize for the glare here and a bunch of stuff. I'm still trying to figure out the studio stuff. This is not the official studio. I'm just doing it from my apartment right now. I want to do some outdoor episodes. I think that's fun with a couple buddies. But yeah, we're turning this into a thing. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow me at Alex DeWitt Comedy on Instagram if this is where you're just finding me right now. I got stand-up tour dates and I got shows that are happening. We're looking at Halifax soon, London, Ontario. I got Ottawa October 15th, St. Catherine September 5th. Those tickets are going on sale soon. And just look out for more show dates. Takaris.